Here are the most interesting restaurants all over the world. Haohai Robot Restaurant, China. Sometimes a moody waiter can ruin your big night. How about a waiter with no emotions at all? At the Haohai Robot Restaurant in Harbin, China, a delicious assortment of dumplings and noodles are served up by a staff of courteous droids. No emotion, just a friendly greeting from an usher robot saying, "Earth person, hello, welcome to the robot restaurant." According to Lu Hao Sheng, the restaurant's chief engineer, they spent about $600,000 creating the restaurant. Each robot costs $25,000, and the whole 20-robot staff is managed from a central computer room. Yes, robots have bosses too, but this staff never complains. On a 2-hour charge, the robots work a 5-hour shift with no breaks and no chit-chat. A whiny droid like C-3PO would never make it there. Number 10. ALCATRAZ Prison Restaurant, Hong Kong. Prison food doesn't have the best reputation, but this restaurant in Hong Kong has brought prison chow to a whole new level. ALCATRAZ Prison Restaurants looks and feels like a jail. Bars slam behind you as you enter this ominous eatery. A frighteningly realistic guard fingerprints and photographs you before leading you to your cell in handcuffs. Once there, convict waiters in black and white stripes bring you fried, coffin-shaped bread. Wow, this place just sounds so delightful. The restaurant owners got the idea from the 1996 film The Rock starring Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, which was about Alcatraz prison. These entrepreneurs were so impressed by Nicolas Cage's acting ability that they decided to create a restaurant to match the Alcatraz decor right down to the rusting prison bars and dismal atmosphere. The idea paid off and the restaurant is surprisingly popular. But don't worry, if you can't afford the Alcatraz restaurant, just smash a window in Hong Kong and you can eat in a real prison for free. I hear the food's not as good though. Number 9. Modern Toilet Restaurant, Taiwan. What could be better than eating on the toilet? Apparently, eating out of a toilet. In the Modern Toilet Restaurant in Taipei, Taiwan, you can do both. This restaurant looks like a giant bathroom with shower heads on the walls and plungers hanging from the ceilings. The chairs are real toilets, and dishes come served in miniature toilet bowls. The drinks come in small urinals, of course, which you can take home as souvenirs. The owner of the restaurant, an ex-banker who got the idea for the bathroom theme from a robot character in the Japanese cartoon Dr. Slump, who loved to play with poop and swirl it on a stick. He first started by selling swirled chocolate ice cream on top of paper squat toilets in a shop. The shop was so popular, he started the restaurant in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Surprisingly popular, Modern Toilet has become a chain with 12 restaurants in Taiwan and more planned in Malaysia. The food is supposed to be good in spite of the unappetizing surroundings. To me, anyways. Just be careful if you go to the bathroom there, you might be ruining someone's food. Number 8. DS Music Restaurant, Taiwan. If you don't like prison food, how about hospital food? You wouldn't know it from the name, but the DS Music Restaurant is like a trip to the local hospital, without the broken leg and insurance forms. When you arrive, they seat you in a wheelchair and a sexy nurse wheels you to your table, which turns out to be a hospital bed. A sign marked emergency room leads you to the bathrooms. Drinks are served from an IV drip coming from the ceiling, and if you answer trivia questions correctly, another nurse squirts a drink from a syringe into your mouth. There's music too, and dancing on tables. With all the tabletop dancing and free-flowing drinks, this is one hospital where you may just be leaving on a stretcher to get home as well. Number 7. BLINDEKUH, Zurich, Switzerland. If you're tired of seeing these crazy themes, maybe you'd like to see nothing at all. At the BLINDEKUH restaurant in Zurich, Switzerland, you're plunged into complete darkness for the entire duration of your visit. You literally can't see your hand in front of your face. The waiters can't see anything either. This restaurant, the first of its kind, is staffed by blind people. Started in 1999 by a group of 4 blind activists, the BLINDEKUH is German for blind cow, and it's also the name of a kids game where one person wears a blindfold and tries to guess who the others are. That's pretty much what you're doing in the restaurant. The food is great supposedly, even if you can't see it, and table manners are optional. Number 6. ROLLERCOASTER Restaurant, Germany. We've seen robot waiters, nurses, prisoners, and blind people. How about no waiter at all? At the Roller Coaster, a futuristic restaurant chain started in Nuremberg, Germany, guests order their food from a touchscreen computer. Just wait a little while, and delicious local organic delicacies come sliding down to your table via a roller coaster. Crazy roller coaster tracks wind around the entire space, which seats up to 200 people. The company that started Roller Coaster has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride themselves, opening these spots in Germany, Austria, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai. No one really knows where this train will stop. Ha! Number 5. Yellow Treehouse Cafe, New Zealand. Every kid dreams of a treehouse. The Yellow Treehouse Cafe near Auckland, New Zealand has made arboreal dining a reality. Built around a giant redwood tree in the wilderness, this restaurant fulfills childhood fantasies and then some. The cafe sits 10 meters off the ground and seats 18 people. There are no solid walls, just exquisite timber trusses that give the restaurant its conch shell shape. It also offers guests a breathtaking view of the valley beyond with no glass between you and the warm New Zealand breeze. Like any good treehouse, you reach the restaurant by a 60-yard treetop walkway. At night, the Yellow Treehouse and the path is lit up with warm-colored yellow lights that give it a sort of magical elven look. Something like out of The Lord of the Rings, which was, of course, actually filmed in New Zealand. So, don't be surprised if Frodo and Gandalf stop by for a pint of ale while you're there. Or it could just be that you had a little too much. Number 4. The Rock, Tanzania. Looking for an exotic adventure? The Rock Restaurant off the coast of Zanzibar, Tanzania might be in one of the most beautiful settings in the world. The restaurant is built on top of an enormous rock jutting out of the Indian Ocean near a gorgeous stretch of white sand beach. The Rock was once a fishing camp, but the restaurant owners saw potential the minute they saw it. You can only reach it by foot at low tide, but if you stay late, and why wouldn't you, the tide comes in and then they take you back by boat. The restaurant serves a wide variety of seafood with a Zanzibar twist and a hefty selection of wines, beers, and soft drinks. Dishes include fish carpaccio, calamari prepared with prawns and zucchini, and familiar treats like lobster spaghetti. The staff catch the fish, so it's always fresh. Phew. Does this place sound like it's $100 a plate to you yet? Good, because the Rock is kind of pricey, pretty expensive, with only 12 tables. But the food is supposedly world-class and the view is out of this world. Number 3. ALUX Restaurant and Lounge, Mexico. At Playa del Carmen on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, there's a restaurant to rival Aladdin's cave. In fact, the ALUX Restaurant and Lounge is a cave hidden under the earth inside of a natural limestone cavern over 10,000 years old. Many of the tables were formed out of the cavern rock, and the view of stalactites hanging from the cavern roof is stunning. This isn't Fred Flintstone's cave, and it's not damp and cold, just comfortably cool after the hot Mexican sun. The restaurant is named after the mythical ALUXub, small elf-like people from Mayan mythology. Legend has it that ALUX seek out magical places such as forests or caves to hide and play. Some of the more sensitive diners say they can feel the ancient power of the ALUX while eating the delicious Mexican cuisine. I'm gonna guess it's just the mojitos. At night, it's a happening nightclub where tourists cram in at the stone bar, but if you get here early, you might find a waiter willing to give you a cavern tour into the dark recesses. Watch out for the Mayan elves, though. Number 2, Dinner in the Sky. With crazy restaurants, the sky's the limit. Or at least it used to be. A company in Brussels, Belgium got the fantastic idea to put a restaurant in the sky. Imagine sitting at a floating table high in the air with nothing but empty space below your feet. That's what Dinner in the Sky is all about. It's not a single restaurant, more of a concept that its promoters can set up anywhere. A crane suspends a platform 165 feet above the ground, complete with space for 22 guests, a cook, 2 waiters, and an entertainer. Yes, entertainer! They've had everything from African drummers, concert pianists, to Cajun dancers. Guests sit around the edge of the platform, their seats hanging out in the air. That's why you have to wear a seatbelt and hold on tight to your knives and forks. There's no formal bathroom up there, so you'll pretty much have to watch how much you drink. When someone has to really go, they bring the whole restaurant back to Earth. The traveling restaurant has appeared across Europe, in Dubai, and in the US. Be on the lookout. Dinner in the sky may be coming to a city near you, but you better not have any fear of heights. Number 1. ITHAA Maldives. The Little Mermaid made living under the sea look pretty entertaining. Now you can join her, almost, in the undersea ITHAA restaurant, part of a Hilton hotel in the Maldives. You dine inside of a clear acrylic tube 16 feet under the Indian Ocean, while amazing sea creatures, sharks, and fishes of every kind swim above and around you. It's like an inverted aquarium seating 14 people in an amazing dining experience. The restaurant was built in Singapore and then submerged into the sea. To get to your table, you go down a wooden walkway and then down a spiral staircase. It's been around since 2004 and is totally safe. Even a tsunami failed to damage it. Here's what's next. Chair. And it actually looks pretty fun. Basically, one person is blindfolded while another secretly places a chair behind them. Once the chair is down, the blindfolded contestant attempts to find the chair and sit in it. And well, hilarity ensues. Watch this guy wipe out while unsympathetic teammates laugh.